Now let's go through Mike Mentzer's suggestion of diet. He prescribed 60% of your diet should be carbs, 25% should be protein, 15% of fat. More or less, that's what I follow. My more calories comes from carbohydrates, lesser protein, and minimum. I think I meet 15% of the fat requirement. Now, what I agree with Menser is protein is building blocks and it does repair muscle and it is a key thing which is needed to build muscle. However, anything taken in excess weight, carbohydrates, protein, or fats, it's always flushed out. So same goes for the water. I think he was a big component of drinking a lot of water, which I agree. 70% of our body is made of water. So yes, but anything in excess, you know, it gets flushed out. So another thing which has to be taken care is consumption of electrolyte as and when required. That's again discussion to you. This is something which works for me. Maybe it might not work for everybody. So coming to protein, I consume around 0.8 grams of carbs per pound body weight. So as the weight fluctuates, you change that accordingly. And it another thing is it does not depend on your physical activity. It solely depends on your body weight. So how much ever calories you need in terms of protein, it has to be based on the body weight and not on your physical activity. So 1 gram of protein contains 4 calories. Same goes for carbohydrates. uh, Now my source of protein is fish, chicken, and eggs. Those are the three things which I do. Of course, you get a little bit from other sources as well, but my main prime sources are these three foods. Now, coming to carbohydrates, carbohydrates is a primary fuel source which can help you build muscle. However, as I said earlier, excess of anything is going to be flushed out, and it's going to help you out. It's not going to help you. Uh, Now, carbs have a protein sparing effect, which means it's great. However, try to eat clean source of carbs. Right, I use white rice, sweet potatoes, uh, and other most of the breakfasts which are made in India do have primarily carb source. Now, it also has something called as ribose. Now, which is form of RNA which is needed for RNA and DNA. So make sure you get adequate carbohydrates, especially when you are on bulking phase, and also when you're training high intensity, because that's your primary source. So you need carb as your fuel source. Protein can be maintained at 25%, and fats, make sure you get healthy fats. Now there are two kinds of fats, saturated and unsaturated. Now saturated comes from the animal products, and unsaturated comes from the plants. Now earlier it was believed that unsaturated is good for health. However, uh, more or less they both have same effect. So make sure you don't go overboard on fats, and try to limit them and use them as required and sparingly. It's always good to have wholesome nutritional habits, which means have the right amount of carbs, protein, and fats. Also, make sure you have all the three, not rely on something like just a protein only diet, or zero carb diet, or more of carb and very less protein kind of diet. So rather than experimenting with that, I think having wholesome diet and also including fruits in a diet is very good. Of course, if you're competing, it's a different question. I am saying this to somebody who wants to build muscle naturally and be healthy, and not for people who are competing. So that's my 2 cents about diet and nutrition. Next episode, I'm going to cover other topics. Please do subscribe and like the video. Thank you.